Forms or types of stratification. Number one is slavery. In a feudal society, a clear distinction was maintained between a slave and a freeman. Feudal it is similar to landlordism, which you all have studied in history. So, in a feudal society, two categories were there. One was the slave and the other was the freeman. जो इंडिया में आपका slave represents your bonded labor and freeman represents your, in India represents your labor. The condition of slaves in this system was that every slave has his master to whom he is subjected. Every slave in a feudal society, in feudalism, had a master, and he was a subject of his master, and this subjection is of a peculiar kind. Unlike the authority one freeman sometimes have over another, the master power over his slave is unlimited. The power of the master on his slave was unlimited. At least in principle, any restriction put upon the master, and the master was having the powers or the rights to put any sort of restriction on the slave. Upon the master's free exercise of his power is a mitigation of slavery. And if a master do not freely exercise his powers, then it was said to be a mitigation of slavery, not belonging to its nature, just as in Roman law. Special laws forbidden to do so. The relation between master and slave is therefore properly expressed by the slave being called the master's possession or property. The slave were treated as the possession of the master or the property of the master. Expressions we frequently meet with. Slaves are in the lower condition as compared with freemen. The labor is a bit higher in comparison to the slave. The slave has no political rights. He has no political rights. He does not choose his government, means no voting rights. He does not attend the public councils. Socially he is despised and socially he is cut off. We always connect with slavery the idea of compulsory labor. When we talk about slavery, we think that it is an idea of compulsory labor, but it is not so. The slave is compelled to work. The free laborer may leave off working if he likes. A slave has to work under his master as per his master's advice. A free man can leave the work whenever he wants to. However, is not slave labor. All compulsory labor, however, is not slave labor. The latter requires that peculiar kind of compulsion that is expressed by the work, possession or property, by the word possession or property, as has said before. So, word possession or property, as has been said before. So in case of a slave, as he is said to be the possession or property of his master, so the compulsion of labor word is entirely different in case of slavery than that what is we all generally speak about. A slave is a man whom law and custom regard as the property of another. So the law and the custom says that a slave is the property of his master. In extreme cases, he is wholly without rights, a pure chattel. In other cases, he may be protected in certain respects, but so may an ox or an ass. So a slave is said to be the property of his master, and in extreme cases he is without any rights, a pure chattel. In other cases he may be protected by his master in certain respects, but he is treated as a ox, या तो वो ऑक्स की तरह से, बैल की तरह से ट्रीट किया जाता है, या एक गधे की तरह से, एज एन एस. Thus, slavery is an extreme form of inequality in which certain groups of individuals are entirely without rights. So, in slavery, the slaves have no rights. Slaves are in lower condition. They are said to be in the lower condition, lowest condition. The basis of slavery is economic. Slavery was then regarded as a social institution. So, economic terms and conditions are the basis of slavery, and at that time slavery was regarded as a social institution, and having slaves was considered as a symbol of social status. Then the second form of stratification is estates. In the feudal society, estates decide social stratification. In feudal societies, estates define social stratification. That is, the person having the maximum land holding will have a high status, and the person having a small land holdings will be at a lower status, and persons with meager land holdings or no land holdings will be having the lowest status. So this is what estates mean. Then comes your caste. The Indian caste system is unique among systems of stratification. In India, caste is also occupational group. In India, caste is an occupational group. Caste is connected with economic and social differentiation. There is an hierarchical grading of varnas based on the notion of ritual purity. So in Indian caste system there is a hierarchical order of varnas which is based on the ritual purity. The purest one are said to be the Brahmins, then followed by the Kshatriyas, then by the Vaishya, and then at the end are the Shudras. The higher castes are believed to be purer and less polluted than the lower castes. Many villages contain the caste order ranking in their locality, and that the respective ranks flow from the ritual practices. Then the fourth is race and ethnicity. Europeans considered themselves as superior race, and they treated the natives as far inferior race. Fifth is administrative or occupational prestige. The persons belonging to civil services enjoy a higher status in comparison to others in the provincial services. Sixth, entrenched and powerful group. Powerful groups always consider themselves superior to others. Seventh, ruling and working classes. Ruling classes always consider their hegemony to rule over others who are below their status. Class distinction has always been the greatest criteria of social stratification. Karl Marx divided it into bourgeois and proletariats.